All right, we live. All right. Like to start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. All right. Okay, you can put it on pause. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Methuselah Wants All the Smoke. And this is an alley-oop from the elder Apostle Tahar. He did a lesson earlier on my main man. And I thought about that we ain't seen this guy in years. And then I believe the elder Apostle Tahar mentioned it, and then he was doing a video based off of the video that the elder that's on the comment board now, the elder Manat Zakbar from South Carolina did. And he said, we ain't seen this guy in 15 years. So this guy's been ghost for a long time. And how convenient is it that at the very end, you got these false prophets popping up, acting like they were always there, like they never left. It don't work like that.
That's right.
You know, you can't, the scriptures say that no man having put his hand to the plow and looketh back is fit for the kingdom.
That's right.
You know, what the fuck you been doing? You don't see no street ministries from this guy, as the elder mentioned. You don't see him doing shit. But all of a sudden and it's crazy because it's always them dudes that don't do shit that are always the experts. They're going to tell you how to do it and how it gets done. They're going to be the ones that correct all of Israel and have Israel come up under their tutelage so they can learn from them. When even the elder said it, and that was heavy, he said that he came to a peak. Like he came to a point where he couldn't learn anymore.
Right.
You know? And that the guy couldn't teach him anything because he really didn't know shit. He just knew just enough to tell you were an Israelite, you know, whatever the case may be. But the point was that he couldn't take you anywhere because, first of all, he's not a prophet and he's not a teacher.
That's right.
He's just a guy that stumbled across the Israel thing. He didn't know about being Israel until then, unless he was one of them old heads from the Old Testament heads, you know, because them individuals know certain things, but they don't know shit really. You know, but nobody knew about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians being the Israelites until the YouTube era, and they got the information from the men from what they call the One Westers, former One Westers. You know, and had it not been for that, you wouldn't have known shit. But now all of a sudden you learn. We always been saying this, right? For how long we've been saying this? You learn 2 or 3 scriptures. Now you're an expert.
Right. Now you're on top of the world.
Yeah, now you're on top of the world. You have a precept?
No, I was you can go and continue because I know you want to segue into.
Yeah, so pretty much, you know, we're gonna deal with, you know, we're rolling in the spirit. We don't have anything, you know, prepared, but we're gonna go into this point that he's saying, if you don't believe that the white man is Esau, I'm not talking to you. Right? He's talking to the ones, the Israelites that believe that Esau is a so-called white man, because he says that they're not.
That's right.
So I'm under the impression, and I believe he does teach that the so-called white man is a Japhet, and that's some old stale ass, you know, teachings going back to them Old Testament heads.
Yeah.
That's about as stale, or almost as stale, as these churches and their breakdown of the scriptures.
That's right.
You know? Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I got it.
Bring it out. What you got?
Job 9:24.
Let's go. You was talking about that too.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it is, when we deal with prophecy, see, sometimes these guys have to get caught up in word, you know, back and forth in words and all that. When we deal with prophecy, right? There would be a nation of people that would be ruling today, and that would be the Edomites.
Right.
It wasn't the Japhites. It wasn't the Mizraimites. It wasn't Hamites. It wasn't Ishmaelites.
Right.
It wasn't Elamites. They all had their turn up, you know, to rule at a certain period of time.
Right.
The last ruling nation that would have an empire in the world that goes back to the Greeks and the Romans up until modern day today would be the Edomites.
Right.
And they're the ones that came back during the time of the Renaissance, which means rebirth. And through the Renaissance, they lied to the world. Now, Elder Yashwama sent me this article of this guy that was speaking about the image that they have of so-called Jesus as a white man, which is not an accurate depiction, which he said was not an accurate depiction. But he said that the name is Yeshua, and it's not. It's Yahushai. Yeah. And he said the name Jesus goes back to 1634 or something like that. And it does not. It goes back to 1524. Because the letter J didn't come into existence until 1524. You know, Elder Pastor did the research, found out John, what is his name? John Trissino, I believe his name was. He was the one that introduced the letter J into the English alphabet. All right. So, you know, when you look into the prophecies, it would be the Edomites that would be ruling at the end. And if you're not a complete half-twit, you know, even a half-twit could probably get it. That's right. You know, that the people that are ruling today are the so-called white people. So if the Edomites will be ruling today and the so-called white people are the ones in rulership today, then who are the Edomites?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You see? You got it.
This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
And you could break it down.
And you got to ask yourself, who is the wicked? Now, we know, 2/3 of our people, you know, are at the very bottom and they low. But Jake isn't running anything. You know, Jake isn't even running their own neighborhoods, man. You know, Jake is not pushing forth any like heavy laws. They're not at any what's that? Is it G20 summits?
Right. You have G20 summits. You have the G7.
Yeah. What's the other one? Davos. Yeah. Jake is not running the earth, man.
No, hell no.
Jake is clearly not running the earth. And who's pushing all these wicked decrees in, man? Is it Putin? Is it Zelensky? Who is it, bro? You know, like guys just like anything to come up against Yahweh Shem Yashai, anything to come up against GMS is really where it really stems from.
Well, you know what it is because these small hats that are pretty much running things behind the scene, even though people don't say they're not, they understand that the truth or the doctrine that came out of One West is the proper doctrine. Yeah. You know, and that's why they've been trying to infiltrate that school for the longest.
Yeah. And it's very interesting how they say Edom is not a so-called white man. Why is Amalek given a pass? Everybody recognizes Amalek, Amalekites, right?
Right.
Everybody knows about the Khazarian Empire, but Edom just, you know, and really what it is through the spirit, it's like the apostle said earlier, man, these guys got a hard on for the so-called white man.
Yep.
Look, Esau is not going to be reprieved, man. And when you look up the word reprieved, it means to what? To cancel or postpone punishment. And that's not happening right now. And it won't happen. Prophecy is happening. So prophecy is rolling.
You know what's crazy is that you never hear Jake, you know, pleading the cause for Moab or the Ammonites or the Elamites or the Ishmaelites or the Hamites. It's always that goddamn Edomite.
Yeah. And that goes back to Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Stockholm Syndrome. Jake, our people have Stockholm Syndrome, man. They love and you know, of course, that's, you know, when somebody beats you, you know what I'm saying, treats you, you know, like a very low estate, treats you bad, you tend to draw towards them because you don't want to be treated like that. Yeah, love me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that Stockholm Syndrome, man, our people are gone with that.
It's a real thing.
Yes, very real. You got it.
That's right. I'll continue reading. Let me read that. This is back in Job chapter 29. I'm tripping. This is back in Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And see, that's the even your boy was that Henry Ford? He said the I think the biggest lie ever told of who the true people were.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he stated that in his book that the international
Jew.
Yeah, and the international J. Yeah. So he even made claim of that. He was like, that's the biggest and boldest lie I've ever told, man. Is the of who the true people are, and then you trying to paint it as like exemption is coming for the so-called white man. It's not, bro. It's like Jake, and Jake is in that goddamn Alizar spirit, man. They want it to go on another 1,000 years. Because if Edom is out the picture, he don't exist. Like, then what, bro? We gotta wait another 1,000 years to find out who Edom is.
Right.
Now these guys, see, they're just set up as stumbling blocks. Look,
yeah.
The scriptures speak about that there's going to be offenses. It is impossible, but that offenses must come. But woe to him by whom the offense cometh. Then the scriptures speak about there's going to be many false prophets.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at. We're at the time of many false prophets. As the truth becomes more and more prevalent and becomes more and more clear and spreads out more and more throughout the four corners of the earth, there's going to be a lot more attacks on the earth.
That's right.
You know, remember you have the Jesuits from the Roman Catholic. See, the Roman Catholic churches, their whole mission is to bring all religions back up under their order.
That's right.
That's who you had, the Jesuits from the apostolic succession. And the apostolic succession are those Jesuits that are trained for 32 years, and their whole thing is to infiltrate churches that go against the Roman Catholic teachings, to bring them back to the Roman Catholic Church. And that's where they infiltrate different churches. They pay them off, pay these pastors, you know, and the majority of these religions, I'll say like 99.9% of these religions out here are all bought and paid for by the international banking families through the Roman Catholic Church.
That's right.
You see?
That's right.
But you got it, bro. You have some? What you got?
You just mentioned the earth gives to the hands of the wicked. If not, who is he?
Yeah.
So we gotta figure out who is he. Now we knowing that if whoever rules, basically they're gonna make the likeness of history in their image. This is First Maccabees 3:48. I'm gonna get right to the point. This is the time of Antiochus when he came down upon Israel, the Greeks. It's First Maccabees 3:48. It says, and laid open the book of the law, where the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's what they did. When you siege another nation or what have you, just like during the time of Egypt, Ptolemy, you saw how you had certain images of the Egyptians over a period of time. When Ptolemy came and ruled over them, what happened? They became what? The likeness of images started changing. So that's what they do. When you rule something, you want to have everything show as your image. And that's what they did. Just like the 1958 President Nasser and
Gamal Abdel Nasser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did he say? He said you left out black and he came back white.
Yeah.
And that's what Esau do. He's a snail. Wherever he do, he come and take it, and like he always been there the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at who's ruling the world, like you say, if not wearing who is he, look at your government. Look who runs the world. Every time you look, you see what? You see a lot of pale faces. So they'll let you know who's actually ruling at this time. And now we see what? Second Ezra 6 and 9.
That's right.
We knowing that, and then when you mention the time that we're in at this time, we knowing that Esau is a pale faced man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Look at the ruling bankers.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So where you at, bro?
Oh, it was First Maccabees 3:48.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's true. The name Jesus didn't come until about 1632 around there,
Right.
But the letter J was introduced in 1524. That's when it was starting to be used. But everybody knew that the people that was doing all these different translations and transliterations all knew that the name went back to Joshua in the Old Testament, which his name is also Yahushai. His name was Yahushai first, deliverer. Mm-hmm. When he was put into the position of leading the children of Israel after, Moses. Prior to Moses passing, he told him, he changed his name to Yahweh. He's the deliverer because he was the new man that was going to lead the children of Israel into the promised land.
That's right.
All right. So yeah, that is correct. So where you at? Did you read that already?
Oh, me?
You read? Okay, Salaki. Yeah,
Oh, no, you could.
I was reading the comments. So go ahead. Where you at?
I was in I had read Job 9:24.
Okay, so we got anything else? All right. So anybody got anything?
I had the I had that overview. Of the Amalekites, that AI overview.
Okay.
But I wanted to go into the simple fact that they pretty much just try to reprieve Eve in any facet because matter of fact, instead of the Amalekites, let me get this. So they basically say the Edomites are not Turkish. So you brothers, if you can, Baba Kushal, be careful on the AI on that AI overview. Now,
well, even I'm sorry, even the historian Eustace Mullins called those Khazars Turco-Edomites. Yeah. Because he understood that they went back to the Edomites.
Yeah.
Because they'll try to say, well, because they were Turkish, that was a different brand. Yeah. No, they were so-called white. Yeah. They were just being called Turk. It's just like saying today that the so-called Europeans are different because one is German and one is French. That's right. There's all the same devil. If their line doesn't go back to Israel, they're all the same devil. They're just being called by different labels.
That's right. That's right.
You got it.
This is the AI overview. It's on Google, by the way. It's you type in Turkish Edomites. It says the concept of Turkish Edomites is a misconception or misunderstanding of historical and cultural context, and we know that not to be true.
See, and I'm sorry, and this is why this individual Methuselah, he would be confused because they're going and trying to gather research and information that Esau puts out there as stumbling blocks.
That's right.
Because they don't want Jake to get the truth.
Yeah, right.
Because if we were just bugged out, then why just not leave us alone? Let us be.
Yeah.
Let us leave us to our own devices.
Yeah.
If we just bugged out. If we don't know what we're talking about, wouldn't be the best thing to do is say, well, they're already gone, so let me leave them alone. Let me move to someone else. That's why they don't really mess with the Black conscious community. They don't really mess with, some of these other so-called religions or some of these other Israelites because they already know that those Israelites are gone. They're not a threat.
That's right.
See, this truth is a threat to Esau's identity. This truth is a threat to their plans, their agenda for the future.
That's right.
And that's why they want to get rid of us, and they want to, establish complete control of the planet, the thinking of people, the way they walk, the way they talk, and all of that. You even that spirit of Esau is even creeping into Israelite groups, like the ISUPK, talking about, look, you come here, we're gonna tell you what to eat, we're gonna tell you when to eat it, we're gonna tell you, when to have sex, who to have sex with, what?
Yeah.
And people actually go for that.
Yeah.
You got it.
They'll go for that. This is finishing back up in the AI overview. It says there is no historical or scholarly basis for linking the Edomites, a people group from the ancient Near East, with the modern Turkish people or their history. And I'll say this, over the past years, and a lot of the apostle and a lot of elders and priests in here, they can attest that Google and a lot of they've done a lot of hard work to erase a lot of stuff we used to be able to pull up when first coming into this truth. Used to be able to look up Turkish Edomites and they break it down and they direct you, which literature you could pick up to read as well. And they no longer do that. Why? Because they know the truth is out here, man. They know the truth is out here. Now, this is another overview for the Amalekites. It says the Amalekites were a nomadic tribe or collection of tribes described in the Old Testament as the hereditary enemies of the Israelites, dwelling in the desert between Sinai and Canaan. And the origin and the lineage, the Amalekites are said to be descended from Amalek, the grandson of Esau, who was the older brother of Jacob, later known as Israel. So where are their so who who is Amalek's ancestors? When we know it just read, they just you just don't fall off the face of the earth, man.
No. Well, all people go back to either one of Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, or Japheth.
Yeah.
Everybody on the planet goes back to whether you accept it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The whole world, no matter what nation they're called today, because that through conquering, especially when the so-called white man conquered the nations, he's the one that changed the nationalities and the lands and all of that.
Yeah. The land.
You know? Yeah.
He's because now what they got the whole so with the whole lineage thing, it's like, okay, if they talk about it, like they never bring that up, and they do that purposely, man. You know, to let you know, okay, we know these people have the truth, you know, which I'm referring to us. And through the spirit, it's just showing, because they really just got a weak campaign out there now. Oh, Edom, they're not here no more, so they just left.
Right.
They just disappeared.
I got one for you real quick.
What you got?
Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vexation, vanity and vexation of spirit.
Yeah, you want to say something?
No, you want to tell history? No, you got it.
Read that again, Bible Sean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this brother pulled up another double article, but read that again, Bible Sean.
Ecclesiastes 4:16, because you said in the overview, Amalek, what was the grandfather of Edom or something like that?
No, Amalek is it says Amalek is said to be descended from Amalek, the grandson of Esau.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come. I'm sorry.
No, because see, Esau's thing is when he doesn't understand something or when he's trying to hide something, they're just used to saying whatever they're gonna say, and then people just accept it.
A pseudo.
You know, so yeah, exactly. So pretty much, it's either those people were done away with, or that's the Antichrist.
Yeah,
you got it.
There is no end of all people.
That's what the Lord said.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Even of all that have been before them.
So all nations are still here. The only nation that will be done away with once they serve their captivity would be the nation of Edom. You know, that's the nation that's going to be done away with. Go ahead.
They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit.
There you go.
Hey, and the only people that went missing is who? The tribe of Dan. from the recollection of Yahweh Shemiah is the tribe of Dan. That's all yet. But everybody else is here.
But you know what? Everything has been hidden.
That's right.
Let's go to Isaiah 25:7. The brother posted this scripture up a little while ago. So I want to build on that. Isaiah 25:7. Somebody could read that.
Isaiah 25:7.
Lord's will, I may go through this chapter another day.
Huh.
I was kind of reading through. It's kind of a bad chapter.
You said Isaiah 25:7?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
Right, because there's a dark veil that has been put over the world.
That's right.
And when did that dark? I mean, there was already a darkness as far as the truth is concerned, but that darkness or that veil was really put up during the time of the Renaissance period.
Right.
This is what the Lord said, that these devils would be pretty much in a prison sentence for 1,000 years. After that 1,000 years, they will be loosed. And when they're loosed, what's the very first thing they did?
Like a psalm that said, after be reborn, they go speaking lies, rough and paraphrase.
That's it. They deceived the world.
Yeah.
When you read Revelation 20, it said that the first thing that they did was to deceive the world.
Yeah.
How did they deceive the world? First, by putting up images of themselves as being the Heavenly Father's son, being the Heavenly Father's son, right? Caesar Borgia. And then, by changing the gospel.
Yeah, right.
Bringing something else. You can read that. What is it?
Yeah, this is from the brother Azan Ha'amat, Shalom. This is Psalms 37, verse 35. I have seen the wicked in great power.
Beautiful.
And spreading himself like a green bay tree.
Right, and he's going to go into it some more. And suddenly shall he I seen him wiped out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And who is the wicked? The wicked are the Edomites.
That's right.
The scriptures do not identify. Show me a scripture that identifies Japhet as being the wicked.
Exactly.
So when it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, it was not given to the Japhites.
That's right.
You know, if that's what he's saying, that who the so-called white man is, because you cannot tell me, you cannot tell us, you know, that he's going to sit up there and say that the white people are not, the so-called white man is not ruling. I know he's not that brain dead. I know they ain't give him that many shekels or that many bags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they ain't give him that many bags.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't say that the so-called white man is not ruling. The so-called white men are the ones that's calling the shots on the planet.
That's right.
And how did they do it? By conquering and taking over, and also by infiltrating all of these different governments of the world through their corporations,
yeah.
Making these, these different officials in these different countries put laws into the books that would benefit the corporations.
That's right.
More than the people.
That's right.
So behind the scenes, the international bankers are the ones running. Those are so-called white people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got it.
This brother gonna read another one from the brother Azan.
Now I wanted that brother to put that the rest of that. What was that?
Psalm 37, 35. You want to go back to that?
Yeah, I want to read the next verse because he said I saw him because he's leaving everybody in limbo.
Yeah.
I saw 37. You said?
Yeah, 37 and 35.
35, right?
Yeah.
So
this is okay. Come. This is back in Psalms.
Read that one again.
Come. This is back in Psalms chapter 37, verse 35. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
As they did. But what's going to happen to them? Go ahead.
Yet he passed away.
Go ahead.
And lo, he was not.
Why? Because the Lord sets up one and taketh down another.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found.
So this goes hand in hand with Job, the 20th chapter.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right now, we've already been through the process of revealing.
Yeah.
The word reveal means read back, and veil is peel the veil back, to peel the veil back. So we already went past the process of revealing these devils.
Yep.
Right now, we're in the sentencing stage of these criminal charges that have been brought up against Esau, the so-called white man.
That's right.
So in the sentencing stage, you're reading all the crimes that they committed and all of the laws that they broke and telling them what the penalty is going to be.
That's right.
After you read them their rights and give them their judgment or their sentence, then after that comes the judgment, and that's where the Most High comes in. Because he said, I will reveal them with the spirit of my mouth, and then will destroy them with the brightness of my coming. Yeah. You know, with the brightness of the Lord's coming. That's what the Lord said. You have something?
Yeah, just I went back to that overview because you know how Edom is describing that as a vagabond
a fugitive and a vagabond.
Yeah, fugitive and a vagabond. But it also refers to Cain as a vagabond as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because it's the same spirit.
Yeah.
But they'll say, well, no such thing as reincarnation. So why are these Cainites, not Canaanites? Listen good.
That's right.
Cainites, descendants of Cain, not Canaanites, descendants of Canaan.
That's right.
The Cainites, or the descendants of Cain, they were known as the wicked, the sons of the wicked. The earth was destroyed, so everybody except for Noah and his 3 sons and their 4 wives were delivered.
Yep.
When we come back and the earth started to be repopulated again, there was a nation of people through one particular man that was established to be the wicked. And the scriptures identify this man as the Edomites. Then say none about Japhet.
Yep.
Then say none about Japhet being the wicked. Now, do they have wicked among them? Of course. Yeah. All nations have wicked among them. Yeah. The Israelites have some of the most wicked people on the planet, but yet still they're the holy people of the Lord.
That's right.
But the scriptures do identify who the wicked are.
That's right. As
a matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go to Malachi, chapter 1, and we could go straight to the point, verse 4.
You said Malachi chapter 1?
Malachi chapter 1. You could go straight to the 4th verse. I mean, you could read from the first verse. You know, those brothers out there and sisters that want to read it. But the main point is in verse 4.
Okay.
This is Malachi 4, verse 1, and the point is in verse 4. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up."
Okay, is that 4? I'm sorry. Malachi 1?
Malachi 1.
Did I say 4?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Salakia. I meant Malachi 1 and 4.
Malachi 1 and verse 4. It says, I started verse 2.
No, just go. We're going to go straight to the point. Read 4, because you could read from the first verse, but we just want to get the point.
This is Malachi 1.
We're doing precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And if you can't follow along, pray to the Lord. Maybe He'll guide you. If not, then we can't do nothing for you, man.
All right. Malachi 1, verse 1, point is in verse 4. The burden of the word of
No, read the verse 4. Verse 4.
Mm-hmm. It says, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build and I will throw down."
Right. Now, one thing I want to know is what scripture says that the Japhites would be building. Exactly. There's no scripture that speaks about Japheth building, building up these great, structures or whatever the case may be. The world knows that all of these buildings that you see around the world today, as far as skyscrapers are concerned, the idea came from America. Yeah. The very first skyscraper was a 10-story insurance company in Chicago. That's right. And from that point, that's where all these different skyscrapers came around America and around the world, because all the nations are doing what? Copying America, as the scriptures say they would. Exactly. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. All nations were influenced by this whore. Babylon has been a great golden cup in the Lord's hand. All the nations have drunk, therefore the nations are mad. That's right. So all nations got the idea of building skyscrapers from America. That's right. This is what's called Americanization. Right. When the Romans were in power, it was known as Rome. You can look up Americanization right now, and it'll break it down what it is. When the Roman Empire was in power, it was known as Romanization. When the Greeks were in power, it was known as Hellenization. And they pretty much were the ones that pushed their influence upon these different nations. That's right. So go ahead.
Back in the middle of Malachi 1, verse 4. They shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right, the border of wickedness, meaning these people, wherever they are, they're going to be known as the wicked. So the scriptures identify a nation of people with being the wicked. And with telling lies, like it says in Psalms 58 and 1 on down, as you quoted earlier, that as soon as they're born speaking lies. That's right. And the world knows that when you look at the world today and you think about so-called Jesus and God and all that, you're not thinking about a so-called Chinese God or a so-called Japanese God or a so-called African God or a so-called, East Indian God or a so-called Arab God. Everybody in their mind, when they think about God or so-called Jesus, they're thinking of the image of a so-called white man. Why? Because that image was imprinted on the world going back to the Renaissance period, which is the time when they actually deceived the whole world. That's right. That's right. So the Lord said the wicked would be doing that. You got it.
If I can add,
yes.
That goes back to
jump on in, please.
That goes back to the scripture the brother brought out, Job 9:24. You know what I'm saying? They covered the faces of the judges. Well, you don't see images of Ham or so-called Africans. And you don't see images of Moab, the so-called Chinese. Everything the apostle just broke down, man. You see images of a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? You Google anything, God himself, you're going to see a so-called white man in a bubble with some look like they trying to escape. You know what I'm saying? Look like, who they call Jesus, you're going to see a so-called white man. Anybody, any of the prophets, Jeremiah, Isaiah, anything, you're going to see a so-called white man. So he said, if not, where and who is he? If it ain't him, where is he then? Who did this? Yeah. He gave you the indication in Job 9:24 of who this is, man. That's who the earth, that's who's in the power of the earth right now. And when you read, if I can bring this out,
no, bring it out, brother, bring it out. Where you at?
When you read in the prophecy, when you just deal with the prophecies.
Okay, let's finish this little corner right here, and then you got it. Go ahead, just finish that last little bit.
Back in Malachi 1, in middle of verse 4, it says, "And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever."
Righteous anger forever. But you got it, bro. Where you at?
I'm gonna bring out Ezekiel. I want to bring this out Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. It reads, "Therefore, thus said Yahweh Shai power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea." So Idumea
what's Idumea? You got to break it down. Go ahead, brother.
It's Greek for Edom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
It says, "Which have appointed my land into their possession." Who's in the land right now?
Dig it.
So-called self-proclaimed white people, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You cannot get around this. That would not have happened had the so-called white man not been in power today, man. Exactly. You know, by way of the Balfour Declaration, man. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's how that came about. So it says, "Appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds cast out for prey." And that's why you got all the fighting over there right now. And no, it don't belong to none of them. The rightful people are not in the land today, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know by way of the scattering, you know, some of those are going to be Jakes, but overall, none of those people belong over there, man. You know what I'm saying? But all Idumea, Edom. So when you look at the people in the land that's got possession of the land, to joy of all their heart, man. You know what I'm saying? Who is it? And when you read up in verse 2, you know what I'm saying? They still do that to this very day, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A so-called self-proclaimed white man. You know, which proves who Edom is, man. Stop.
That's right.
Hey, then you go back to Ezekiel 35, verse 2 says, "Set thy face against Mount Seir."
Boom.
Yeah. That's it. And then you know
about the mountain.
That's it. And then they're talking about the people, because the mountain represents government. Right. And then same people that are in that land today, the world knows that 95% of them go back to the Khazars. Yep. Come on, man. Come on, people. All right, so what you say you had a precept?
Just back up stop.
Where you at?
Tells you just back me up what y'all just said about Mount Seir. Tells you also I think it's maybe in Deuteronomy. I think goes in says Mount Seir has been given to an inheritance for Edom.
I know there's one in Genesis 36.
Okay,
can I get that one for you?
Okay.
Genesis chapter 36. And should be around verse 8. Yeah.
Verse 8. But the other.
I know I had a precept though.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
The apostles did that for me.
Genesis.
To make a quick point, like, bro, what about what's my man's name? Arthur
Kostler, yep.
Yeah, with the
13th
tribe. The author of that who exposed, which through the spirit and power of the scriptures expose who the so-called proclaimed white man is. The Lord just had him say it, as icing on the cake, man. That those people in our land right now are not the people.
Yeah, in their own Jewish encyclopedia, it says that modern day Jewry is Edom.
Right.
Yeah.
It says that in the Jewish encyclopedia, man.
Yeah.
Proving who these people are, man. They're Edomites.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. If y'all got that for the brother.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, bring it out.
This is Genesis 36 and verse 8, and it reads, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom.
Yeah, so Mount Seir, the Lord is connecting Esau and Edom. Edom to Mount Seir.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to get. I found it says Deuteronomy 2:5. Meddle not with them. I will not give you their land. No, not so much as a foot. Breath, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession.
There you go.
So, can you call that again, bro?
Deuteronomy 2:5. You know what I'm saying? So just to back up what the elders were saying, Mount Seir and Esau, Edom, that's incongruent. That's one and the same, man. Okay. But I want to get this here.
This is terrible.
It's Rock 10:7. Just to back up the priest for thought when he brought out Job. You bring out Job 9.
Well, the brother Kadar brought it out.
Kind. This is Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses. You know, and I brought this out in the lesson. You know, that main servant is who? It's Esau Edom. You know, the main heathen or servant that the Lord is coming back. All right, the main antagonist of this whole story or reality we live in is going back to Esau Edom, man. All right, like the apostle said, hey, this Americanization that's been pushed over the whole world, all right, it's been spearheaded by Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white nation, man.
Yep.
All right, it says the servants upon horses. What do we know horses represent? Power. All right, so it tells you what that servant is upon that horse. He's in that power seat. Esau Edom is currently in that power seat. He's in that rulership position. In his heaven. Yeah, you know.
That's it. Anybody else got something?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use this because the blue letter is acting out. Yeah. Anybody got something? Bring it out. What you got?
This is Psalms 49:11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
Yeah, even waters.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer going to be called the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be called the Gulf of America. It's like, damn, really? And then they're going to take over. Canada's going to become the 51st state.
Right.
And then we're taking over Greenland, you know, one way or the other. It's like, god damn. Gangsterism at its finest.
Mm-hmm. Well, the apostle tells you more than Daniel. He say more stout than his fellows.
That's it. That's it. So he don't give a shit.
No. He's
just moving forward. But you know what? That's the Lord putting the spirit on him. You know, because I always like make a lot of reference to the great horn with the little horn with the or the great mouth speaking great things or something like that. And that's like, even though we know it's not talking about a particular man, it's talking about America. Yeah. Trump encapsulates that because he's just talking cash money dollar bill shit, and he's just gonna just do what he's just gonna bring this. He's gonna bring this shit. You know, if the Lord is ready for this place to go down right now, which we hope he is, he's going to be the man to do it.
Right.
Because he ain't even been in there, 3 months?
Nope.
What's today, the 18th? Yeah, tomorrow's the 19th. The 20th will be 2 months that he's been in office. And he's caused all kind of havoc and friction. And, I mean, with the world and with people in America that were backing him up.
Yeah.
Both the ones that weren't backing him up and the ones that are backing him up.
That's right.
So he got to be that cruel Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
You have some?
Yeah, I've been purposely going back to this overview because, man, it's like they cut themselves. This is the later history of. If you type in when was Edom destroyed, it says the later history after the destruction of Jerusalem by Romans in AD 70. The Idumeans, who were the descendants of Edomites, disappeared from history. Now the elder Bonsapai just that was
Ecclesiastes
4:16, right? How do you disappear, bro? That's just unsolved mysteries, huh? And see they really hope for that simple mindedness, man, especially of our people, man. And it lets you further know, man, a lot of our people who know they Israelites are willing to sell out for the bag, man. Just to push the vibration of as though Esau is Esau not our enemy? You know? Like, bro, there's no other distinction between any other nations and Esau that, like, bro, it's a clear distinction of who Esau is and how he can move, man. You know, it's a clear distinction. And then also you got to keep in mind it's very parabolic and symbolic in the scriptures. When they refer to the Assyrian or the Egyptian, that's also talking about Esau. You know,
right?
You know, a lot of people don't like to do their due diligence and search those things out, man.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, I'll I'll get Isaiah chapter 10.
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Who's doing that? Is Ammon doing that? Is Gog doing that? Which is the Russians? Is the Japanese, or like Moab, who are the Chinese? Is Ham? No. They writing decrees for their own nation. But as far as according to this nation, does not America has grievousness, even though we understand it to be defiled. But the only people who have the power to do that at the moment is Esau.
Who's ruling?
Yeah, who's ruling? The so-called white man.
It's like I said, the Lord, so the Lord called him the hammer of the earth.
Yeah,
so going around pushing. It's not just his military might that he's influencing throughout the whole earth. It's his philosophies, his whole way. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be like the apostle said. He's pushing that Americanization throughout the whole world. They either follow me or lay down.
Yeah,
Yeah, because to become an airplane pilot, you have to learn English,
Right,
or something like that. You living in China,
right.
Speaking I forget the language. Mandarin. You speak in Mandarin, but I want or Cantonese, God. But I want to be a pilot. I got to speak English, and then you so impressionable upon the earth. You got everybody wearing suits.
Yeah.
Here it is in other people's country. They got their own type of garments that they wear, but they got to wear a suit with that phallic symbol, that tie around their neck, man.
Yeah.
Esau has that very impressionable demonic presence on the people, man.
That's right.
Yeah. And if I can add, you watch, a lot of times they'll have it televised. Those read again, those
Let me go back to it. This is back in Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Those unrighteous decrees. You watch Trump signing executive orders all day.
Yeah.
He's been signing like crazy since he came in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the unrighteous decrees, man.
Yeah, exactly. Japheth.
Japheth ain't got nothing.
It ain't Japheth, bro. Yeah. Do Trump look like Japheth?
Yeah. And that is totally two different people, man.
Right.
That's totally two different. Well, the nation of Edom, the nation of Japheth. Okay, it's 18 nations. Now, granted, like we always say, bro, everyone is intermingled. We get intermarrying and whatnot, because he is still whittling around on the earth, man. Right. This nigga just didn't disappear, and these niggas really. I'll reread that again on that AI overview. If you type in when was Edom destroyed, it says after the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in AD 70, the Idumeans, who were descendants of the Edomites, disappeared from history. Wow. It's just interesting how these niggas keep disappearing, but they be having hella descendants though.
Right.
Rome still standing. Mm-hmm. Greece still standing. People in our land. Mm-hmm. The Amalekites, they still rocking. So that they're here. Edom is here. Yeah. Thriving, alive and well, man.
Now Edom is destined for destruction. Don't get twisted.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But it ain't now. That's in the kingdom of heaven. A time period from now. Yeah. 1,000 years from now.
That's right.
It ain't then. It ain't right now though. When the Lord comes back, Edom is going to be spearheading the whole world, man.
That's right.
I got that too.
Yes,
it's Second Ezra chapter 6, which I'm gonna start at verse 7. The point is in verse 9. This is Second Ezra 6 and 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of that which followeth?" Which is going into Genesis the 25th chapter. It's 25th chapter, where the birth of the twins, Esau, right. Jacob and Esau. Yeah. It says, "And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau," which that happened. You know what I'm saying? When you read in Genesis the 25th chapter, and that represents the bringing down of Edom by the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, verse 9, here's the point: "For Esau is the end of the world, And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows it. So when Yahushua returns, he's going to return to a world ruled by Esau. He's an end time prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Esau is the end of the world. That's the end of an age.
There you go.
You know, an ion or eon, however you want to say it, but it's the end of a time period. You know,
it didn't mention nothing about Japheth right
Didn't
there.
mention
Right?
Japheth at all.
My eyes aren't deceiving.
No,
right? Okay.
No.
Also, when you look at, like you say, you just mentioned Genesis 25, you go on about the birthrights. You know, you had the two that was fighting in the womb. You go into Genesis 27 now, like I said, Methuselah want all the smoke. If you believe that we're the nation of Israel, who is our adversary?
Yeah,
the
main adversary.
Two sides of the spectrum.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so if we're supposed to be Israel, look who oppressed us the most. Who we put down? Who did GMS Kadashi put in Psalm 137? All right, during the time of Jerusalem, the siege, what did they kept saying? Raise it. Basically, destroy it.
Yeah.
You know, all this time you look at it, you always see someone within the Edomites that's looking to bring us down or oppress us. You know, Psalm 183.
Yeah.
All of them joined together, but Esau was always on the top saying, this is what we want to do to keep them down. So it's always Esau. So if you believe that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, then you got to look on the other side of the spectrum and see who's our biggest adversary, which is Esau Edom. And that goes all the way back to who? The so-called white man.
And it's like, bro, it's like evident. Like, look, now he's talking about historical context and scholarly things and so forth. What about our captivity? Because we were captives under other nations.
First of all, we don't recognize your scholarly work unless it's scriptural.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
First, you know, the Lord said He don't deal with that.
That's right.
And these guys that get all into the technicalities, and you try to get on to the technicalities of things, and you miss out on the spiritual aspect of the scriptures.
And that's why through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the Lord showed us the hatred that we received when Yahushua HaMashiach was on the scene amongst the Romans. Right. The hell we caught in the book of Maccabees and so forth. Yep. You got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
You got some explaining to do, bro.
Well, it says the violent taken by force.
Yeah,
that was the Romans.
Yeah. Who what I read earlier says what the Idumeans it says the Idumeans who were the descendants of Edomites, Romans in AD 70. Now that's a historical fact. That's biblical. That's scriptural. But that's you. Hey, hey, man, Jake. Like the apostle said, man, Jake get in their own way with these technicalities and so forth, and missing the whole spiritual aspect of it.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, you know, through your so-called scholars is how you were able to tweak, you know, and through the Renaissance to deceive the world.
That's right.
But we're at the point now where the Lord is. Matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah 25. Unless y'all had something.
Can I get one for you, Papa Show?
What you got?
This is First Maccabees 1 and verse 10. Let me see. Salaki, verse 9. This is
beautiful.
Salaki, I'll start at verse 7. So Alexander reigned.
Who's that Alexander?
A Japhite?
No.
No. I
know.
Yeah.
No, but who? Like, what's his title? What they call him?
Alexander the Greek.
Yep.
Yeah, Alexander the Greek. But let you guys have it is Alexander the Japhite. Hey, because that's how it's coming off.
Well, he was. They were on the land of Ionia.
Yeah.
The Ionians. That's Yawan. That's Japhet. Yeah, but the Lord said that this devil will be removing landmarks.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when you go to the Josephus, even the Josephus says that it wasn't until the Greeks came over they started changing the name of these different lands to sound more like their Greek names.
Exactly. And that links back up to when that brother got Psalms 49, 49 and verse 11.
Yeah.
This is
we're dealing with Alexander the Creep or the Greek.
That's right.
They call him the Great. Yep. Everybody knows in history that he was a so-called white man.
That's right.
You know, that's when the Greeks came in, you know, through Macedonia by Philip, his father.
That's right.
And maybe a few before. You know, we don't know the whole line of, you know, if those kings that were in Macedon, if the original kings were Japhet and then Esau interjected, just like he did with the line in Europe, so-called Europe.
Yeah.
You know, where he took over with these guys, they supposed to know this history, right? How Esau got up into so-called Europe and took over all the different, you know, kingdoms that Jake was ruling.
Yeah.
That's the same shit they did to Japhet.
That's right.
When you look up the Etruscans, the Minoans, these were people of color, brown-skinned people.
That's right.
They were not so-called white people. It was Esau that came in and took them down, took them over, and took over those lands.
That's right.
So if you're not a half-twit, you know, if you have some kind of brain cells left in your head, you will know that Alexander the Creep and the so-called Greeks were so-called white people at this time. Go ahead.
That's right. This is back in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
Mm-hmm.
And his servants bear rule everyone in his place.
Boom.
Okay.
Right. And the servants were his generals.
Yeah.
He had many generals, but he had certain generals that he called to his deathbed, and he parted his kingdom to the different generals to fulfill the prophecy of the kingdom will not be given to his posterity, which would mean his descendants.
Yep.
It was given or parted among his generals.
Yep. And those generals were Ptolemy.
Yep.
And Lysimaeus.
Yep.
Antiochus.
Well, the Seleucus.
Seleucus. Yes. Yeah.
And one more.
You said yeah, Lysimaeus.
Lysimachus, Cassander, Ptolemy,
yeah,
and Seleucus.
And Seleucus. Yep.
Now, and Antiochus or Antiochus, they came through the line of the Seleucus. Because the Seleucus was just nothing more than a title, just like Antiochus or Antiochus was a title.
Yeah.
Just like Pharaoh or Czar or whatever.
Hey.
What's that? Connor.
Hey, and just like the point we making now, what line did the Amalekites come through? I'm gonna keep making that point.
Yeah.
Through Edom.
That's right.
And the grandson of Esau.
And the scripture say that the Lord will have war with we will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Yeah. It didn't say we have.
It didn't say you'll have war with them for 30 generations and that's it. No. Yeah. From generation to generation.
Yeah, we haven't been having war with Japheth.
Right.
Matter of fact, it was Cyrus, who was he was actually a Persian, Elam, you know, that gave us benefit. But then you had the line of Darius and all of them. We under the Medo-Persian Empire, we got the Lord caused them to allow us to rebuild the temple.
Yeah. That's right. This is back in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 9. And after his death, and it's talking about Alexander the Creep. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And this is what you have today. Mm-hmm. This is what you have today, all the way back from the time Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, all the way up until now. From generation to generation, man. It has not stopped. Okay? But it is coming to a point it's about to stop because we're at the very end. We're doing this for the sake of edification through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. Because guys are just pulling anything out of their ass now. Like, bro, where you been for the last 10, 15 years, bro? It's been a lot of people, looking, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find the truth. Where you been at? Come back on the screen with your bugle boy button down. Ain't talking about shit. Just spreading misinformation.
And if I can add too, the protagonist and the antagonist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And an antagonist, which is Esau, they're opposed or an adversary. You know what I'm saying? The protagonist represents the nation of Israel, all the way, like you said, back to the garden with Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cain was the antagonist. Yeah. They've been trying to cut off the righteous line from the very beginning, man. You know what I'm saying? And on into Jacob and Esau. Esau being that antagonist.
Yeah.
On into today, the same thing. The Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native Americans. the protagonists, and then you got those that oppose or the adversaries of them, which is the so-called white. Like you said, it's the Chinese. They ain't the Chinese. None of these ain't oppressing us, coming up against us. Trying. Who is though? Yeah, it's very clear. It's not hard to see. That's right. The so-called self-proclaimed white man.
That's right. And I'm curious to know, was it an actual snake in the garden, bro?
No, it was not.
I'm just curious.
Well, since they're going through the technicalities, right?
They're going through the technicalities. It had to be.
Well, brother, when you go to the Hebrew word, it is talking about an actual serpent. Yeah. And back then they were walking on two legs.
Yeah, he was slithering. He was just I
mean, Jake is just simple. I mean, Jake. Well, High Priest Yeshaya, which was his title back then, he said it best. You could buy a nigga cheap. Jake will be gullible to believe anything, or you could pay a lot of these demons out here enough money to where they will sell out. And you got to pay them that much. You can give them some bubblegum money and they'll sell out.
That's right.
No, you got it, brother.
Since the brother mentioned that, I just went to the Google and put in the definition of serpent, and I want to just read these real quick. And it says in the first definition, it says a large snake. But when you read in the second definition, it says a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it.
That's why when you were advised,
words are smoother than butter.
When you were, that's why you were advised whatever environment you may partake in, to keep your eyes on what? Snakes in the grass. That's what it's referring to. Yeah. A snake in the grass, not an actual snake, nigga. Right.
Snakes in the grass.
Yep. Because bro, Jake is taking it there though. Yeah. Jake is like, Jake is. There's simplicity in your how about Shnau shot. Jake is not applying it.
I got a quick precept for you. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And this is why it says in Revelation 20 and other spots in Revelation that the devil, Satan, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, because those are all names for the so-called white man, for the Edomites. When you understand what that dragon with the 7 heads and 10 horns is, which it breaks it down in Revelation, but they'll tell you that's a spiritual demon, Satan. And it tells you in Revelation, the same book that they claim to be reading, what that dragon represents. Yeah. It's a conglomeration of nations, kings, rulerships. That's right. But they'll tell you that's talking about Satan.
Yeah. It's clearly talking about unions.
And that dragon that the scripture spoke about with the 7 heads and 10 horns, it said that was that old serpent. That's right. Which is an actual man that was in the garden. Come on, people.
Snake to a full dragon.
Yeah.
God damn. Well, you know what a dragon is known for? It's known for its cruelty and for being king. So that dragon was a conglomeration of nations, the Edomite nation. What was he red? Because he just had a red stripe? No, because of the people he represents. Yeah. And everybody knows that the so-called white man is not white, he's red. That's right. Or should know. Not everybody knows. I take that back. What that say up there?
This is
dragon.
Dragon from the brother GMS Kadash. Shalom. This is mid 13th century. Dragon, a fabulous animal common to the conceptions of many races and peoples.
Yeah, that's all right. Hit that, and then I'll go to the comment. Go back up. Go to the comment. Go. No, that's all right. Go up. Nope. Go up. See, and then click that off, and then click it back on. See if it'll come back up. You good? No, it's not gonna come back on. Let me see. That's all right. No worries. Yeah. No worries. Okay, I got it right here.
Okay.
Come on, man. That was some good stuff. It says, dragon, fabulous animal, common to the conceptions of many races and peoples, from Old French dragon and directly from the Latin draconum, nominative Draco, huge serpent, and that's it. It don't say nothing else. Right. But it's talking about a people. Yeah. Because when you read in the book of Revelation, there are some things in Revelation that are straight up, and other things that are symbolic.
Mhm.
That dragon with the 10 horns is symbolic. Well, how do you know that, brother? Because it breaks it down.
That's right.
It tells you here's a mind that has wisdom.
That's right.
The 7 heads are set, 7 mountains on which the harlot sitteth, or however it is worded. And then the 10 horns represent 10 kings, which are men, which is a representation of rulerships.
That's right.
Because you don't have kings out there. There's rulers out there, and their governments are represented as kingdoms or smaller kingdoms.
That's right. Just where it's like that whole the brother made mention of the whole
Draconia, Draco,
yes, yeah. So the whole the draconian thing. Japheth's not doing that, bro. Japheth's not. He's not making draconian laws, bro.
Trash.
Man.
Yeah.
He just wants some attention, man. That's all. Really a waste of time,
Well, that's why we're not gonna give him too much shine, because he's been gone for what, 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's just trying to get what happens when these people, when they have no views or people don't follow them, they come against other Israelites so that they can get some type of recognition, so that they can have followers.
Right. Yeah.
And whoever wants to follow you, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
You can follow that guy. Follow him to your destruction.
Exactly.
Do your thing, man.
Yeah, because anybody with a half a brain in their head, would know that when you go to these prophecies, the prophecies speak about the Edomites ruling at the end.
That's right.
What you got? You have more?
No, just the whole aspect of Jake popping up, back in the welcome back Carter spirit. Like, bro, you've been gone like hella long, bro. Right. You've been gone for hella long. It's just more so, like the apostle said, bro. Jake is about clout. Right. And something that I noticed when Jake be gone for such a long time, they come back with damn near a Christian perspective on Yahweh Shem Shah, which we are the true Christians. Make no mistake, we are the true Christians. But what I'm referring to is the Christian church. Like the apostle was making mention of how they be breaking scriptures down in the church, brother. That's how you sound, bro.
Yeah, you sound like a Christian, yeah.
Yeah. With a new terrible breakdown.
Come.
You have anything else?
No, that was it. On what anybody got anything else? All right, so if nobody has any other precepts, any other thoughts, scriptures, and you could go on and on. This is a topic you could go on for days, and this is like a never-ending series.
Yeah.
Who Esau Edom is, and we've done lessons on this.
Yeah.
And if you go through all of the different scriptures on Esau Edom, it identifies this man as being a caveman. It identifies him as going up into the clouds, up into space.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you. Who's the people that have actually accomplished going above the clouds with their technology? Yeah.
Esau. They ain't say nothing about Japheth doing that.
Yeah.
And you can the book of Obadiah is really symbolically speaking about Japheth. Shut the fuck up, man. I mean, I'm not saying they said that, but you would have idiots out there that would believe it if they said it. And matter of fact, we're going to leave you with Isaiah 25. I'm going to read that again. Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he, meaning the Most High, will destroy in this mountain, meaning in America, the face of the covering cast over all people, because the world has been deceived during the time of the Renaissance.
That's right.
That's when the world was deceived. And the veil that is spread over all nations. But now that the light has come, Yahweh Shai has come, tapped his men, gave them the understanding, beginning with Elder Abba Bivens, got the truth out there, and they're being revealed. This was the first step in this devil falling.
That's right.
Because the Lord said the first step is the Lord will reveal him with the spirit of his mouth, and then will destroy with the brightness of his coming. So we're in the sentencing stage, and after that comes the judgment of the Lord, which is the destruction.
That's right.
That's right. So anybody got any closing words, precepts?
I'll say this, Apostle.
Yes.
When you read in Obadiah,
Mm-hmm.
it tells you he's the pride of thine, Obadiah 1 and 3,
Mm-hmm.
the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You dwelt in the clefts of the rocks, man. Esau Edom, bro. You can pull it up right now. Petra, you're going to see the same architecture as when you look up in Washington today, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's ruling today? The same people, bro. You know what I'm saying? But the that I know of, the Japheth dwell in the clefts of the rocks. You know, when you read in Job, the same people are the ones got driven out primarily by the Israelites. Those dark nations, the Israelites drove them out into the clefts back then. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the basis of men. You know what I'm saying? Which is spoken of in Daniel the 4th chapter. You know, where the Lord rules in the kingdom of men. Boom, there it is.
I typed in caveman.
Look at that, man.
I typed in caveman.
Yeah.
And they commercial.
I was just gonna say it, bro.
That's Esau. You mentioned Mount Seir. When you look at the Capitol, the Jefferson Memorial, all these, and so on, in Washington, that looks like Mount Seir. They caved it, they carved it within the mountains, but they brought it into Washington.
Right.
And it's looked the same. They got the same spirit to make their architectural buildings. The architects look the same. Yeah. Everything looks the same.
Same spirit. That which was then is now. Man, that the man hath been, that shall be, and that which is done, that which shall be done. There's no new man under the sun, man. You know, when you read in Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. You know, so this is them, man. You know, what's his name? Methuselah. Yeah, he don't know. He has no clue, man.
Well, that's Methuselah.
Methuselah. That's it.
AKA, welcome back, Mr. Carter.
Yeah, where you been for the last 10, 15 years?
Probably got his last paycheck to come up. That's all.
Yeah, well, but it is what it is. You know, this is necessary because the scripture said, "Many false prophets shall come, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. You know, by way of whom the truth shall be evil spoken of." That's right. And they will be destroyed. Their judgment is not going to slumber or linger. That's right. You know. So with that, you know, we pray that your brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.
That's 1 hour, 11 minutes, 22 seconds, 111.